This is the guide on how to use the PDF that we got from Abigail to prepare your files for the LaserCut mission. First thing you want to do is to open your PDF in the Illustrator. Once you've done this, you want to make the size of the artboard to the size of the machine you want to use. The machine, what I would advise is make it 1 meter on 75 centimeters. This way, if the machine on the first floor is not available, we can still use the machine in the Fab Lab and it's slightly smaller. So we have less surprises. Then delete all what you don't need from the file. Okay. Then you want to use the 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter square to confirm that it is 5 by 5. In order to do this, you make a selection. You go to transform and you check that it's the correct size. Here it is. So we don't have to change the proportion over 5. Okay, next. Now that we did that, we need to look at the direction on the pieces. You can see this one is to the left, to the right, down. Okay, so since you're working with wool, as I understood, or if you work with another fabric, it's better to align all the directions. So pick one, either right, left, up, down, just pick one. For now, I'm going to use this one as a reference, the first one, and I'm going to place it. So here, when you select this, be sure that it takes everything. See what happened? It didn't take everything. Some of the steps are left behind. So here, we may have to take this and copy. Because that's what happened when we did PDF. It's not glued, it's not joined. It's more like lines beside each other. So let's create new artboards. And then we can copy and paste and assemble our things. So I'm taking this, Control X, Control V. Place it there. I'm lucky I got everything. Then I will put it as close as I can to the edge in one corner. Good. Let's bring the next one. If you want, you can even you can group the sketches to make your life easier. So let's select everything, Control G, like George, Control G, group. If you don't know how to do it, select, click your money, right click, and here you will have group. I'm going to do it again. Okay, so you select your group, outlines, click a right click, and here you have group. So now it is united. So for now, let's place it here. Let's take the next piece. Move it to the side to confirm that nothing else left behind. Okay, this little dot is a dot. So let's grab it. Be careful not to grab nothing else. Move it to the side. Over one line. Yeah, this is the part where you need to be a bit careful. Control X. Put it to the side. Since the lines, then we can start to play with the sizes and the sizes with the direction to place and optimize our cut. This one could fit nicely there. Then we're gonna do that at the end. For now, let's plane them one by one. Good. Now let's do the next one. For example, this one is supposed to be vertical in the end. You can see that if we use the logic that we have, so I push it to the side, Control G. Let's grab everything, Control G, and then let's move to the side. And put it vertically where the lines meet to. And this one is not good, we need to turn it. Everything goes to the same direction. Now you do that for everything, for all of them. You do that, you bring there, you do that, you bring there. Okay? I'm going to pause and continue so you can see how it looks when it's assembled. Okay, so now I leave it up to you to optimize the spacing in order to save as much fabric as possible. But remember that this is only half. You need sometimes to cut this, you need to cut the right, left, the left side, the right side. I leave that up to you. That's what you learn in another course. But now let's go a bit deeper. For example, since the fabric you're using is thick enough, we could, if we need, carve or slightly burn a line to show us where to stitch. You don't have to. You can decide to keep only the outer line and to cut your pieces and stitch accordingly to where you know how to do. So if you want to use the method where you see if where you want to slightly engrave the stitch line, seam line on your piece of fabric, then first we need to delete everything we don't need. All of this needs to go. All of this needs to go. All of this as well. And so here you see this part where it's written frizzling. You can cut this. Either you glue the frizzling on the piece before, or you can cut also this piece in leather using the laser machine. Using the laser machine, not leather. Like I'm sorry, excuse me about that. So then you need to take this piece and just isolate this and sketch it apart. If not, you just cut it by hand and iron it after you do. You have two options. Yes, you can cut frizzling on with the laser machine. So now we're good. I will remove all what I don't need using the white arrow. White arrow allow me to do selective things, meaning that if you're cutting your piece of fabric, you want to remove that line. If not, you're gonna have too many things. Okay, now that I did this, you can keep the pick line, no problem. Okay, but first, if we get to that point, I'm gonna say Ctrl Shift S. I'm not gonna make the mistake to save on the source file. I will look like that. First of all, the name of the file must be in English. Laser cut jacket. What? So you're gonna have a few files, and then place it where you know where you can have it, or you can find it. Okay, don't save as PDF. Save as AI. So here, maybe to save as AI. Jacket. I'm gonna change this laser cut jacket. And put your name at the beginning so you will know to whom the file belongs. Because if everyone use the same naming on the machine, you're gonna have issues finding it. Oh, good. Here I save it as illustrator 3 or 8, as we learn together. Now let's change the color of the internal line. So I have this, I select this, I select this. Good. And now I go here and I will put it in red. I can change this stroke. Yep. If I want to be sure that I have no line left under, I can go to click on one line, select, same appearance. Now I do Ctrl X and you can see that nothing was left under. That will make me surprises. Ctrl Z. Okay, so now this is ready for the laser machine software to tell him the red is going to be a light burn with for example, you can use like speed 300 with 12% power. That should just slightly put a line. If not, this you have to make your test before. So before you cut this and you use this method, make your test with a little circle, a little square, checking, okay, how my fabric react if I just want to engrave this line, or if I want to cut completely. Make your test on a small piece of fabric before you start. Exactly, that's why you get the first exercise on the 15 samples. It's exactly to learn how to do this. So now, if you want to do that method, you need to do that for everything. If you just want to cut a piece, a simple piece, okay, and then you need to follow the instruction. If you need other lines to be cut, leave it on the file. That's up to you. But for example, this one, if we don't need this, then I remove everything that I don't want. Actually, I just realized something, that this should be to the other side. Okay, so we really need to be careful that we selected everything. You know what? I'm gonna do the exercise here, the example here. So I remove all the things I don't need, including if you just want to cut the pieces and then stitch according to the direction you receive without having, yeah, so you have a frizz-in piece, without having to use the laser machine to engrave your seam line, then you can directly do that much faster. According to the pick line, if you need them to be cut, leave them on the file. If you don't want them to be cut, then remove them. Okay? Because everything that will be left on that file will be cut by the machine. And once you finish all of them, you do save. Illustrator 3 or 8, and you finish. Your file will be ready for cutting. Put it on USB key, bring it to the machine, and then we can do it together. I'm going to inspect. If you want to do that, I'm going to check your file before you cut, just to be sure that you understood the process and there was no mistake made, because that's the first time you do it. Good luck.